Thank you very much. Thank you very much. John, it's such an honor to work with someone of your integrity and experience and wisdom every day. I appreciate the introduction. Thank you very much. And thank you, all of you, for joining us tonight for the British Columbia Oscar ceremony, the night where we celebrate all the people who work behind the scenes to make everything happen. Because, of course, I often find myself making speeches talking about all the accomplishments of the government, probably for people in GCPE, that's a little bit too often, however, and many members of my audience as well, I'm sure. But those accomplishments would not have happened without all of you here in this room, who every day collectively make 100 or 1,000 decisions to make sure that we achieve something for our province that's really going to matter. And you think about the significance of what you do every day, or maybe you don't. Maybe every day you go to work and you just do the job and the tasks that's in front of you without necessarily taking a minute to feel really proud of what you do and give yourself a pat on the back for it. I think tonight you should do that, and I'm really proud to be honoring you and joining you in doing that. I read a book this summer, reread a book this summer by a man named Viktor Frankl. And the story, Viktor Frankl's story, is one that has endured for a long time. He was a very prominent psychiatrist in Vienna in the late 1930s. And he was on the cusp of writing the great book that was going to put him down in history and make a tremendous impact on how people thought about psychiatry. He was on the cusp of becoming someone great and remembered for a long, long time. And in 1941, he was hauled away to a concentration camp. And he had to think about his life in a place where every day he didn't know if he was going to have another day. And what he learned from that is that it's encapsulated in this great quote where he says, we are not here to ask what we are going to do in life. We are here to listen to life's call of what life needs us to do, to listen to the world, discover what the world's need is, and to fill it. Because he never expected that he was going to live through that experience. And he was defined by his circumstance rather than by his own choice. And so many people in our society find themselves in that situation. And I'm sure for many of you here tonight, you would never have imagined yourselves with a lifetime behind you in the public service. You may never have imagined yourselves working for the ministries that you're representing now. But what each of you has done is answered a call to public service. And you have defined your public service based on the need that is in front of you, the need that you see in the world and in your province that needs to be filled. Not everyone in our province can make that same claim. And so while you won't necessarily be celebrated every day of the year, and I certainly see that in question period when I attend, I want you to remember that we are celebrating you tonight. And I want you to think about how significant your contribution is, no matter what task it is you've taken on. Because you've answered a call that the world has presented you with, which is all we can ever ask of ourselves. And that is an incredibly significant contribution to public service. And so last, I know that none of the videos will be profiled by the media because they're good news. But I hope that tonight in our 11th year, we continue to grow and we continue to get the stories out there of all the incredible things that all of you do every single day in the hundreds and the thousands of decisions that you make to make our province better. I was in Tofino today, where my grandfather was born in 1899, and talking to the people there who've answered that call to public service when there was an emergency and a crisis in their community. And we are defined by our ability to respond in those moments of crisis, in those moments of need. And that's how we build character. That's how we become better people. And I have never worked with better people than I have in the 4 years that I've been Premier with this BC Public Service. I want you to know how incredibly proud all of us are of you, Shirley Bond, Peter Fassbender, Stephanie Cadieux, and other ministers who are here with us tonight. And last year, I talked to you about how we were going to create a permanent, visible, physical legacy for award winners that people can go, that is accessible to the public. And I'm proud to tell you that it's now up and standing at St. Anne's Academy. If any of you want to go and see that, take a minute to reflect what all those individuals have achieved. But don't forget to take a minute to remember what you have achieved in your life and the contribution that you've made through kindness and compassion, through public service, a dedication to giving back, and the sacrifice that necessarily involves. We can't expect better from life than that. All of you have achieved something, and I'm incredibly proud to work with you. Thank you very much.